The Animal Crossing series has been captivating fans for 22 years, spanning over 5 games across 6 consoles and featuring over 400 beloved characters. Capturing 22 years of history in just one video would be a monumental task. So, instead, I'm planning to cover everything about Animal Crossing. From development and early game ideas to lore, gameplay, and characters. This will be presented through a series of 5 in-depth videos focusing on each game and numerous YouTube shorts, which will serve as an introduction to each character. My goal is to delve deep into the rabbit hole of Animal Crossing in the next 6 months. Will you join me on this journey? Doubutsu no Mori? Mori. Doubutsu no Mori. Mori. I need more of my German accent. Doubutsu no Mori. Mori. Doubutsu no Mori. Okay, I can do this. Episode 1. Doubutsu no Mori. Exploring the Origins. The first game in the Animal Crossing series, called Doubutsu no Mori, which translates to Animal Forest, was developed by Nintendo EAD and published by Nintendo. Originally planned for the Nintendo 64DD, Doubutsu no Mori was intended to be an interactive multiplayer role-playing game, featuring a unique gameplay experience. It was designed for the players to collaborate with animal villages to accomplish common goals. One of the standout features was the Nintendo 64DD's internal clock, which would synchronize the in-game time with real-world time, influencing the characters' activities. The original concept also included dungeons, bosses, and monsters, giving the game an infinite end, which deviates from the now open-ended nature of the franchise. However, due to the declining popularity of the Nintendo 64DD, the development shifted to the standard Nintendo 64. This change resulted in significant alterations to the game, mainly due to memory limitations, prompting a complete redesign. The goal-oriented gameplay elements were removed, along with dungeons, bosses, and monsters. I would now be complaining over this change, as who of us doesn't want to enjoy a game where we fight dragons and stuff with these little guys as companions? But I feel like Super Smash Bros. Filled that hole in my heart with their addition of Isabelle, so Nintendo, I will forgive you this time around. Despite this, the Switch allowed for an open-ended and alternative game style that aimed to engage players repeatedly. Doubutsu no Mori was initially released exclusively in Japan on the April 14th, 2004. Doubutsu no Mori was initially released exclusively in Japan on April 14th, 2001 for the Nintendo 64. The expanded port, Doubutsu no Mori Plus, was released 8 months later in December 2001 for the GameCube, and later localized for North America on the 16th of September 2022. And later localized for North America on the 16th of September 2002, Australia on the 15th of September in 2003, and Europe on the 24th of September 2004. The directors of the game are Katsuya Eguchi and Hisashi Nogame. Eguchi, who you might know from his work on Super Mario World, Star Fox 2, Wave Race 64, and Yoshi's Story, and Nogame, also known as being the creator of Animal Crossing and Splatoon. Now, the genre of the game is a life simulator, equipped with both single and multiplayer modes. Despite the first plans and the complete 360 switch of what it was supposed to be, the social simulation game is now open-ended, meaning that, just like my personal pain and suffering, it truly never ends. When you boot up the game, you are greeted by a white dog with the thickest eyebrows you have ever seen. Jesus Christ, you're making my Turkish heritage very jealous. Illuminated by a small light coming from directly above. In his hands, pause. God, I wish I had pause. That's not in the script. Shut up. He holds a light brown acoustic guitar. I nearly said autistic. The black background leaves no outlines or room for interpretation for where the hell you are. Maybe you have been kidnapped. Maybe the dog himself is part of a darknet webcamming scheme you only so far have heard of in spooky creepypasta videos you have indulged in way past your bedtime too many times. Or maybe it was just a design choice. The anthropomorphic little guy with that dog in him is revealed to be named as shown in the little green circle over his speech bubble, which is disclosed after he notices you and looks you directly in the eye. Has he not seen you before? How the fuck did you get in here? All the questions we will never get answers to. Throughout the dialogue, we get to know that apparently we decided to move out, or maybe we have been gaslit by this puppy, which, honestly, a lot of trans women on Twitter would be drooling over. He tells us that we now can be free and do whatever we want whenever we want, but that with this freedom we will also have to find friends to rely on in tougher times. As the saying goes, with a lot of freedom comes a lot of responsibility. Only to then immediately get insecure about talking too much, stopping himself, and apologizing. Ah, KK, I do truly get you. When being asked if you're ready to hop on the train, you get your very first option of decision, telling him how you feel. He quickly tells you to plug the game to your friends, then just starts his jamming session, and we presumably get hit over the head with a frying pan and then wake up in a train. So far we have been kidnapped, been introduced to a potential multi-level marketing scheme, while being told that we have all the freedom to do whatever the fuck we want, and now we are asleep again. When you wake up in the train, in walks Rover, a blue and white cat with the most adorable stepping sound that I have ever heard and that have ever blessed my ears. He is a male cat, born on February 1st, and his favorite saying, according to the Nukipedia wiki, is, "Always trust a smiling cat," which seems a bit biased, but I'll allow it. His name, according to the same source, might originate from the quote, "roving," meaning to travel with a set destination, end quote. Every Dobutsu no Mori character has different names in different languages, his name in Spanish being Fran, in French Charlie, and in German, my native language, Ollie. Did you hear the accent? Please say you didn't, it's for my ego and my mental well-being. After little Rover waddles towards you, you turn your head and start engaging in a conversation, where he speaks like a nervous little anime girl. He sits down in front of you, where he requests you to help him out and inquires if it's the specific time and day and date that it is. Which, if he next asks you if this is your real legal name, and your mother's maiden name, and your address and your IP address, who wouldn't forgive those little eyes? You confirm with him and get love-bombed even though you don't really know the guy, and he asks to sit next to you, specifically saying that he will not fall asleep, tumble onto you, and drool on your shirt. Which, okay, Rover, thank you for clarifying? As if he didn't just dox you, manipulate you, and then ask the most specific question ever, he asks if you aren't a psycho, and then says, "Just kidding." However, if this was happening in real life, I'd be sharing my locations with all of my friends right now in fear of being found in 10 different pieces and a part of a forest. But he is a little kitty cat, so yeah, it's fine. You tell him this name, which he promptly makes fun of, which, joke's on you, I'm into that. Then he claims that only your opinion matters on it and quizzes if you like it. What the fuck? He then resumes his bullying, repeating that it is a great name, and then giggles. What in the white mean girl fuck? He assumes your gender is male, but you now have the option to correct and tell him that actually you're female. Sadly, non-binary options aren't available. He then fucking asks where you're going, which, don't tell him! He's being super weird. But you make up a name for your town and trust this weird fucking guy. Claiming that he is familiar with the place, he asks you what you are up to there, which you reply with moving. Rover hates moving and asks where you move, which, brother. When you say you don't know yet, he freaks out, calls his buddy, leaves, which, this is your chance to run! Run! And don't look back! Run it! Oh, hello, Rover. I wasn't planning on anything. He tells you his buddy has a house for sale that you can have. When you say you don't have money, he says, no wonder you look so helpless. And by now I think I want to punt him so bad. Then we arrive and hopefully I'll never see him again. You arrive at the place where Tom Nook immediately fucking jumps you and asks you who you are. Then he essentially calls himself old, introduces himself, and says he runs the town shop. He calls you crazy for moving without having a place and makes fun of you. Which, again, why is everyone so mean to me? He walks you to the house and tells you that no doors are locked. When you choose a house, he gives you a radio that he could never sell. The place comes unfurnished, and Tom Nook suggests you break into other people's houses to see how they decorate. This town is fucking weird. He informs you that you have a personal, assistant that comes with the house. I'm not gonna read into that, dear viewer. Then he tells you that you absolutely have to save. No matter what, you have to save. He quits his yap and then tells you that the house costs 19,800 belts. You only have 1,000 belts, which he fucking laughs at for you. Landlords! Landlords are fucking evil! Tom Nook! What the fuck? He tells you that people who have no money don't get a house, and then just decides you will now work for him. And thus, you are trusted into your little life with this strange fucking place and these concerning people. But hey, they're cute. After this very long intro, let's get into everything you can do in Dobutsu no Mori.
And now, a word from our sponsor, me. Hi. I have a Patreon. There I upload daily right now. You get updates on literally anything you can think of related to content creation. And I'm so grateful for you guys over there, even though it's only 3 people right now. But, you know, it's the thought that counts. It's 3 whole people. I'm genuinely so hyped about this. There you get early access to things like scripts, video editing stuff, my scripts, updates on how far along I am, updates on editing. I will actually upload my scripts there once they are done, which my scripts are usually about, in total, 20 pages. This script right now is in total over 20 pages. I say usually, this is my first ever script that I wrote, my first ever video essay. I hope you're enjoying it. I had fun. You also, in specific tiers, it's the Megazoomy tier, get access to the videos before they're even uploaded, so you get clips to see how far I am along, so however far I have edited, I will upload and then you will be able to see. On there, you can also get things like voting on what you want me to do next. I will update you guys on my ideas for videos, and you can comment and chime in. And you don't even need to pay for that. I specifically have a free tier that you can join in, and there you get access to all the updates. Not the videos and scripts, but all the updates and probably also all the voting stuff. So just follow me on there for knowing how the process is going, and I found I really enjoy Patreon, especially the free part, simply because I usually annoy people on Twitter with like my whole stuff of like, oh, I did this, and did this, but now I can specifically target the audience that wants to know. There's something on my mic, I'm so sorry. But yeah, over there you can support me, and who wouldn't want to support this little guy? Also, I promise this video is misinformation, but I do spread misinformation on the internet sometimes, on accident. My bad. I also want to say thank you so much to Tom for being my very first Patreon. I did not expect anyone to sub there yet, because my channel has 140 followers right now, and I used to be a big Twitch streamer, one of top 100 in Germany, but I fell off, so now I'm a YouTuber, and I'm enjoying this so much. I'm enjoying the freedom of it. I'm debating on going back to Twitch, but we will talk about that some other time. So thank you so much, Tom, for your support, and thank you to everyone who will support me in the future. As I said, I'm super excited about this whole project. I had a lot of fun, and I have a lot of videos planned in the future, so I hope you're ready for it. Inspired by Amelie Dury, I wanna take this section of the video to, one, shout out people whose YouTube and content I think is great. It doesn't have to be YouTube, it can be literally anything. So if you want to be included in these videos, comment down below, tell me about the stuff that you do, and I might check it out, and then you'll get a little shout out in the video, because I think that's a great thing to do. Yeah, and the first person I'm gonna do this to is Amelie? I'm so sorry, I'm German. Amelie herself. Amelie, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. This is so embarrassing. I love you. I mean, not parasocially, not like that. I know you're married. Congrats on the marriage, by the way. Is a wonderful video essayist who focuses on visual novels, and I have been obsessed with visual novels ever since then, so thank you so much for introducing me to that, even though I don't speak Japanese, so it's quite complicated. But she focuses on Japanese visual novels with deep, interesting topics and sometimes a queer focus. I absolutely adore her videos, and she's inspired me to do this video, so I'm obsessed with visual novels now, and thank you so much, Emily. Please go check her out. I love her content. You will find me in the comments. Now, no more yapping, and let's get into the video. There is no true goal in the game that you have to do. Seriously, you can do whatever the hell you want, but the game does give you some main goals and side quests you can complete. Those main goals are saving money and paying off the mortgage on your house, but also making the house bigger, which happens whenever you pay off the mortgage, resulting in immediate debt. As a 20-year-old, this is way too realistic and I want my mom. The player is kinda in constant debt, which for a Japanese game is weirdly American, but hey, you never said where you're from. Your house can be customized by changing roof color, furniture, music, wallpapers, and flooring. These things can be done by collecting materials and selling them. If you remember, earlier we mentioned other villagers whose houses you might break into. Well, you can also go talk to them, interacting with the animals, events, and helping the village develop are fun things to do. Interesting note is that holidays and cultural references are different in the Japanese and Western versions. Because the game is linked to real-life time that Rover asks you about, real-life events and holidays are included in the game, such as Independence Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Maybe we truly are in America. Additional activities that you may indulge in include fishing tournaments, fitness classes, and more. If you remember the importance on saving earlier, let me introduce you to another character or two. If you decide to go against the rules and close your game without saving, you run into Mr. Rossetti when booting up the game. He's a male mole born on April 6th. His favorite saying is, "Lightning does all the work, but thunder takes all the glory." This little guy will plop out of the ground like a digda and dig into you for not saving the game. As a punishment, you are forced into a drawn-out conversation, yapping your ear off. Which, if I was in the yak competition and Mr. Rossetti pulled up, damn, I'd be screwed. He yaps more than a neurodivergent whose wrong dialogue you trigger by mentioning the word sea, now stuck in a 3-hour live documentary on every single thing you didn't want to know about sharks. If you're lucky though, you instead agree with Don Rossetti, the older brother of Mr. Rossetti. Don is nice, but it is absolutely rare for him to pull up, so just better save the game for your own good. To give you an overview of this little village, there are 30 acres with 6 rows and 5 columns. In the north you can find the train tracks, on each side of the map you can discover the cliffside. In the south is the sea. The village is split by a river and separated into 2 to 3 layers by inclines. The town also has flowers, trees, and bushes. Yippee! Besides your own house and others that you can break into, capitalism is thriving in your new little town. Places to visit include the police station. You know, because you do that? Why the fuck would I want to visit the police station? You can get items from the lost and found there. You know, once I lost my phone at school and the janitor had it and told me the proof. Once I lost my phone at school and the janitor had it and told me I had to prove that it is my phone. Then he opened it and saw Yoongi from BTS because he was my background and went, "Oh, you're your background, that's convenient proof," and gave me my phone. I was a 14-year-old with a bowl cut. I'm Turkish. I didn't feel like debating him because I want my phone back, and to this day, I'm so confused on how this happened and... Wait, what were we talking about? Well, anyways. At the museum you can donate fossils, paintings, fish, and insects for display. If you're really bored, you can send letters to the post office, visit other towns at the train station, throw stuff away and at the dump, and visit the shrine. One thing we skipped over, how do you even get the villagers you want? Who are these people? In the Benini, you are assigned 6 random villages, which move out depending on how nice you are. God, Rover, I hope you move away, you little rascal. You can have a maximum of 15 villagers who can visit, talk to, trade items with, and compliment. Villagers interact with each other too. Hopefully no one talks to Rover though, I heard he's like stinky or something. There are 216 villagers in the game, so be sure to pick your favorite. And your least favorite. There is a right answer. They are all assigned different personality types, split by male and female. Male villagers can be lazy, jocks, or cranky, while female villagers are peppy, snooty, and... normal? Okay,
This is gonna sound stupid, but why is this shit gendered? And why can only women be normal? I mean, Dream took his normal pulse. Were those actually estrogen? In this video, we will be discussing why I believe Dream from Minecraft is... The personality types? The personality types of each villager influence their dialogue and reaction, as well as their preference for things like designs and furniture. Besides the normal villagers that you can have in your little village, there are 8 special visitors who come with exclusive items. There's Gracie, a giraffe. Gracie is male in Japan and Korea while being female everywhere else. Our gender-fluid queen changes gender based on country. Can't argue with that. Let it hang in Japan, sister. Trans jokes, I'm sorry. Her birthday is November 14th, and you will hear her say, "Let yourself be fooled by me, darling." Which, again, I can see a lot of trans women on Twitter drooling about this. I also would. I'm not into giraffes. I promise. That's not wrong. She brings you exclusive clothes once you complete a task she gives you. Second is a friendly bird with big ass eyebrows once again. Gulliver is a male seagull born on May 25th, who will chirp, "When you are called to greatness, pick up the phone." To which I will have to say, no, I will not be picking up the phone, because like everyone else in Gen Z, I have anxiety on the phone. You will stumble upon Gulliver as he washes up on the beach once a week on a random day. Waking him up will only happen if you yap his ear off, for which he will yap your... Waking him up will only happen if you yap his ear off, for which he will yap your ear off about his adventures at the sea. As a thanks, you receive a random furniture. In the Japanese version, Gulliver only speaks katakana, which is done to show that he is a foreigner. He also randomly speaks coherent English in the middle of the sentences. Imagine I started, ihr werdet niemals wissen, was ich sage, doing that. That'd be so stupid. Katrina is third, but we will have to discuss her in the next video since I couldn't really find anything about her in Dobutsu no Mori. Big Dog from earlier still has not been let out of the BDSM dark web addict and appears with the internal clock of the console fails to work. He can also be found on a wooden stool outside the train station every Saturday night. When he approaches, he introduces himself, and if you request, he will play a song for you. The song itself depends on whenever you make a specific request, a mood, or let him decide. If the player requests a song that KK has no idea of, he plays a random, unobtainable song. Again, for Red I couldn't really find anything, so we will meet next video. Sahara keeps us fed with the transgender allegations that no one but me is pulling her away. They're a camel, both female and male, born November 10th. He visits every 2 to 7 days, which you can find out by letting Cooper tell you that they allow the appliance for permission to operate as a door-to-door manager at the police station on a specific date. You will also know from Cooper which acre Sahara is in, which... Dude, are you tracking her? What the fuck is going on in this town? Sahara comes with 18 exclusive carpet items. Fun fact, in the Japanese/Korean version, Sahara is male while internationally being considered female, but she has a male voice everywhere. This was an accident since developers overlooked Sahara while updating their cards to female, but not her minigame data value. This could happen since special characters have their name in green, but normal villagers have theirs in pink or blue depending on the corresponding gender. Sahara's long eyelashes and her Japanese name Roran, which was translated to Lauren, led staff to assume that she was female. The mistake was only realized when Japanese staff asked why Sahara's Western e-reader card was female. Like stated in my notes, transgender. Wendell is a male walrus born on February 25th and a traveling artist. He appears every 2 to 7 days, and Cooper also has this guy tracked to the acre. Wendell will ask you for food. If he receives fish, he will inform the player that this is indeed his favorite and hand him one of the 18 exclusive wallpapers. If this is done, he will not ask for more. Handing him any other fruit, he will eat it, but complain about the taste and ask for more food. Anything that isn't food, he doesn't eat, but still take. Voice crack. The Wikipedia wiki specifically says that even though turnips are edible, Wendell treats them as a not food thing, as if you expected him to actually eat the flower? Why won't you, Wendell? It's edible. Eat the flower, Wendell.
If you're not interested in the exclusive item life, don't worry. Tumnook runs the Animal Crossing equivalent of IKEA. Here you can see items you collect and order things from the catalog, like you used to be able to do in the good old days. Talking about your house, there you can put furniture, carpets, and wallpapers. You yourself can wear clothing and cute umbrellas. Gyroids can also be dug up and function as furniture. I don't know how I feel about that. Gyroid, blink twice if you need help. Gyroid will make noises and dance to music in your house. He's like a stick bug equivalent for your house. I love bugs so much. Sorry, I love bugs. There are 4 tools you can use: the axe, the fishing rod, the net, and the shovel. Things you can do besides is fishing and catching bugs. The fish change based on the time of day and year, with a total of 32 fish and 32 bugs. Now, what are the differences to the game released after? From a lack of over 200 villages that we now know and love, there are a lot of small differences. For example, fish bounce on the ground when released until they hop into water, insects can spawn across acres, and such. Villagers do not give a shit if you hit them with the net over the head, and so many more small things that the video is long enough, I'm not gonna go over them. And this, my dear viewer, was everything I could find about Dobutsu no Mori and the first Animal Crossing game ever released. If you watched this video until here, I am beyond grateful. This video took me more than 72 hours of scripting and researching alone to make, and I'm so hyped to finally release it. And by that I mean just researching and scripting alone, not like sleeping in between. If you enjoy video essays like this, stay tuned because there will be a lot more coming. I know that my content that I made up until now isn't like this, but I promise more is to come. I have so much planned. Until next time, and don't forget to save. Bye bye!